Now we're going to go ahead and adjust the cutting blade again. We're going to put it in the little adjuster here, and I'm going to take this up to 6. Well, you could actually go anywhere from 6 to 8. It'll work just fine. I'm going to try 7 because we've used this quite a bit. And then you want to go ahead and insert it in the collar. And we're going to load the mat. You can just line it up according to the lines that it asks you to line it up on. Load the mat. And like I said, sometimes I'll use the directional arrows to advance just a little bit so that I can make sure that my blade is cutting on the template material. Then all we have to do is just send the design over to the cutter. And as I said before, you have 2 options where you can go ahead and cut it as 2 templates or as 1. For today, as I said earlier, I'm going to cut it just as 1 template. Well, now it's finished cutting our template, so let's just remove it. And now what you're going to do is we're going to go ahead and peel up the template, and the dots where the crystals will be set are staying on the mat. Now you're going to go ahead, and we've taken the template material off the carrier mat, and we're going to go ahead and place it on our backer board. Look how beautifully the template cut. And this is cutting it as 1 template. I did want to show you that I cut a little smaller one earlier where I cut it in 2 separate templates. So that if you wanted them to be 2 different color crystals, it would be very easy to do. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and put our template in our bin, and we're going to sprinkle our crystals on and brush them in place. And look how easily they just fall right into place. I just love this. This is so cool. Now on occasion, one will be kind of a little bit obstinate, but I'm glad that it did, because I wanted to show you one of my favorite tools, and that's called a pick-me-up tool. And all you have to do is just pick up the crystal with the pick-me-up tool and place it in their place. Now if I have one that's upside down, there's several tools available. You can use, there's a flipper and the pick-me-up tool, but I like this pick-me-up tool and I use it all the time. But each cutter, the Zing, the E-Craft, or the Silhouette Cameo, they all have different tools that go with the cutter to make this an easy process for you. You can see that they just drop right into place. And there you go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place our transfer tape on top of our crystals. And I like to roll it on because they like to jump up. And they love to be with the others. And then at this point, you want to smooth this in place so that the crystals stick to the transfer tape. And once you're sure that the crystals have stuck to the transfer tape, then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the press and adhere it to our little tote bag. Now just pick up the transfer tape and you'll see that the crystals come right up with it. Isn't that fantastic? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place our star right on our little tote bag. And then I always like to use a pressing cloth, but it's going to be up to you. I do that to protect the garment as well as the press. And we just go ahead and lower the press. The press is one of the greatest things I ever got. First of all, for quilting, for adhering crystals, for adhering appliques, it is just phenomenal. I absolutely love the artistic press. Once you've pressed it, then you just remove the transfer tape, and voila, you have your beautiful crystal applique on your little tote. And if you want, you can take a look at some of the other things that we've done with our appliques, our crystal appliques, what we call them. Isn't that just beautiful? Okay, we still have a little bit more to do, so let's get back to the software.